Go on, hop up on your soapbox. Ba-da-da-da. Hey, y'all. So, I was thinking, I was actually, funny enough, I was working on a different video. I was thinking up and conjuring up ways that I could talk about a different artist, who I will talk about down the line. But as I was doing that, there was a little bit of melody that made me go, oh man, that sounds like Fantastic Voyage. And I thought, I should say a word about Coolio. And I should just sort of say goodbye. As we all know, this week, Coolio passed away. And, I hadn't thought about Coolio in years. I hadn't really been keeping up, I gotta say. And I hadn't really even listened to anything he'd done in a while. But always kind of knew, any of us who grew up in the 90s know Coolio. And if you haven't at least heard a couple of the songs or known a couple of the albums that he put out, then you at least know his name. So to me, Coolio is synonymous with rap in the 90s. And dude was around. He was doing his thing. And I went back and I listened to, obviously, his biggest hits and a couple of the tracks in between. And I never listened to every Coolio song. White kid in the suburbs in the 90s. You got to be careful. Listen to that rap stuff. Because next thing you know, your kid's going to be saying things like motherfucker and talking about sucking my dick and all this stuff. And Lord knows Coolio never talked about that. But, when I was a kid, I really liked, actually my in, look at me, come on, of course. My in was Al Yankovic's Amish Paradise. And funny enough, Amish Paradise later led me to listening to Gangsta's Paradise. And obviously, it's an excellent song. I didn't know really what he was talking about at the time. And I guess that I still don't in a way. But yeah, I went back and I started reading through some of his lyrics and just amazing stuff. Really, really good stuff. On that first album, It Takes a Thief. That's from 94. And to me, that's I don't know, it doesn't feel that long ago. But that shit was probably pretty hard back in 94, right? Dude was just saying whatever he felt and wanted to in a time when, we didn't really do that. And obviously, the 90s were even more liberated, I guess, from earlier times, but because of artists like Coolio. So, I don't know, it's cool to think about how, even as a kid in the suburbs in the 90s, I was influenced by this artist. And, everybody thinks of Gangsta's Paradise. Everybody right now, everywhere I'm reading, they're saying, oh, the rapper buying Gangsta's Paradise. And yes. But to me, it's all about that. Come along, you're out on that fantastic voyage. I like that. That has always been, Fantastic Voyage was always the one that I was like, that's Coolio. And of course, Gangsta's Paradise, no doubt. But and then also from that same album, there's a great song on there called "On My Way to Harlem," which I really like. Sort of about West Coast boy finds himself in New York and going to Harlem. And it's interesting to hear the things Coolio was talking about and read the things he was talking about, because they're still pertaining to us today. Talking about wanting to raise his kids and them not get shot in a drive-by, or perhaps killed by the police. That's another reality that a lot of American people have to face, and Coolio was dealing with it in his time, and I'm not sure how much better he saw it when he died. And I don't really know the cause of death. Was it a heart attack or something? I think he was pronounced dead on the scene. I don't think there's anything nefarious, and I'm glad that he didn't die violently, right? I guess in a way that is one good thing, maybe. But of course, depends on who you ask about death, I guess, because happens to all of us, comes for all of us someday. It sucks that he was only 59 years old. That's true. I would have liked to have seen, a little more life for him. But what do you do? What do you do? So, anyhow, just a couple lyrics that pop into my mind is he said, I got more flavor than a truckload of Snickers. I always thought that was funny. That's a lot of flavor. He's got a lot of flavor there. And then also, what did he say in one of his songs? He says it was a black and white thing, but now it's red and blue and red. And I'm thinking, oh, he's talking about Bloods and Crips, obviously, but like translate that into today's political landscape. Not that Bloods and Crips, I don't know the first thing about, but but that blue and red political identity is real. And it was a black and white thing, and now it's blue and red. I'm like, oh, that rings true today. Anyway, I encourage folks to go back all the way to his first album, and right out of the gate, he comes out strong with that Fantastic Voyage. Love that song. So, also like Slippity, he came right out of the gate saying slide, slide, slippity, slide. Like, let's hear some rappers start bringing Slippity back into the rotation. You know, using all these words, throw Slippity in there. Slippity doesn't get enough credit, I guess, as a word that can be used in some hard ass rap. Anyway, so I thought I'd say a couple words because I was working on this other artist, and I thought, oh, that sounds like Fantastic Voyage, and that got me thinking Coolio. And then I started listening to Coolio, and I was like, I should say something about this. But yeah, there's some really, really good stuff, and there's some gems from years ago. So anyway, here we go. Pouring one out for the homie. Thanks, Coolio. You definitely influenced me. Also, this is awesome beer. This is from Second Self Brewery in West Atlanta, Georgia. If you find yourself over there, grab yourself some of their Thai wheat. I think it's a tremendous beer. So I went and bought what I think of as the best beer in Atlanta to pour out for Coolio. And hey, Coolio, wherever you are, I hope you still got your motherfucking hand on your nutsack. And if y'all don't like that, tough. Damn!